Hello everyone, welcome to NK Broadcasting. Let us watch the video.
Okay. Now next is what are the don'ts. So what should you not do in your resume? Do not write the details in paragraphs like paras. Don't start with a line and then continue with 4 or 5 lines. Don't write like paras in in your CV. None of your details should go as a para. Okay. Don't use typical fonts. Sometimes you use let's say different fonts which are difficult to read actually. So make font in a way that it is easy to read. Don't overcomplicate the fonts, okay? And do not use multiple fonts also. Try to use as minimum as possible, like 2 or 3 fonts only. One for your headings and one for your, let's say, sub items, like that only. 1 or 2 or 3 maximum. Do not mention unnecessary personal information. I've already told you, right? Your marital status not required, your birthplace is not required. All these things are unnecessary personal information. Okay, so don't mention those things. What is next? Don't use unprofessional email addresses. This is also one of the common mistakes. As a developer, or let's say as academic students, we must have created few, let's say, email IDs. ठीक है, academics में हम लोग email IDs create करते हैं, right? Like rockstarrahul@gmail.com, princesspriya@gmail.com, or ymail.com. So don't use these email IDs to send your resume, and do not mention such emails in your resume also. It doesn't look good. So always use professional email addresses. That should tell, like, your email addresses should have your name initials or your position. Okay. Don't make general statements in your CV. Don't make general statements like, if you have worked as a sales manager, do not say I carried out sales activities and so location. That is expected, right? So don't make general statements in your CV. Try to be more specific about the activities and role and responsibilities you have carried out in your experience, or even in your academics. Don't just list the responsibilities. You'll have to sometimes explain the responsibilities also. Okay, so don't just list out like you carried out these, that. In academics also, don't mention that you did a mini project wherein you developed a website. That's all. That is not expected, right? So if you have carried out responsibility, if you have been responsible for particular task in your mini project, even you can mention that. Okay, what did you do as a individual, as a team member? Don't include anything confidential. This is more precisely for experienced consultant. Like, this is also one of the common mistakes experienced consultant do. So you're not expected to mention confidential details from your previous companies. Okay, do not do this mistake, because if the interviewer is intellectual, then he or she will understand that if you can mention the confidential detail of previous companies, then if you change their company, you will definitely mention confidential detail of their company as well. So don't do that mistake. Don't include anything confidential from last companies. Don't include hobbies or interests unless relevant. This is what the question asked by somebody, right? So if your hobbies and interests are not relevant with the position, okay, you better not mention them. There is no harm if you are applying as a fresher. There is no harm in mentioning. But if you are experienced consultant, unless they are relevant, they will not carry much weightage. Okay, clear until here? Okay. Don't include high school details unless you are going for a fresher, as a fresher. So if you are a fresher also, then don't mention anything like you are from 7th standard, 6th standard, what you have achieved in your 6th standard. You may have won painting competition in your 5th standard, or in your 10th standard or 9th standard. Don't mention those things. They're not required. Okay, so don't include high school details. Don't include skills which are obsolete. So you may have, let's say, as an experienced consultant, if you have got 10 years of experience, people mention things which are obsolete already. They're not used anymore by people. So don't mention those things. Obsolete means जो आजकल यूज में नहीं आ रहे, ठीक है? वो वाले skills mention करने का कोई फायदा नहीं. Don't include those skills. Don't include obvious skills. Obvious skills means, let's say आप IT में job के लिए apply कर रहे हो, and you are writing that you are good in creating Microsoft Word, you can work with Microsoft Office, you can create good PPTs. That is obvious. You are going as a software, you are going in an IT company and applying for a software position, software consultant position. That is an obvious skill. You must be able to create PPTs, you must be able to work with Word or Excel. So do not include those obvious skills in your CV. If you are going as a sales manager, don't do that you know how to sell a product. Don't mention that. You are already applying for a sales position and you are expected to have that skill. So that is an obvious skill, right? So don't mention that. Don't include work with controversial organization. This is for experienced consultants. So sometimes what happens is people work for internships or some other things for an organization which is controversial, blacklisted, or having some government regulations imposed. So do not mention those things in your CV. Try to avoid those things as well. Don't include reason for leaving last job. Okay, if you are switching a job, if you are changing a job, never mention the reason why you left your last job. Never ever. Don't include expected pay. Okay, if you are expecting good amount from, let's say, the interviewer, unless you have given the chance to interview and you have proved yourself, you should not mention your expected pay in the resume itself. Clear until here?
Thanks for watching the video. Please do not forget to like it and press the subscribe button for more such videos, and we will meet in the next one.